God forever.
Hi, how's everybody doing? So, I'm coming to tell everybody to be careful. You hear me? Because the enemy is gonna come at you like a friend when they're not really a friend. I'm gonna say what happened to me. So in my spirit, hold on. Let me tell you the story from the beginning, and then you tell me after. So the enemy comes to me, and I've been like experiencing a lot of witchcraft. So I'm like, where's all this witchcraft going? So I've been breaking the curses. So I can't. I'm trying to figure out where is all this witchcraft coming from. I don't talk to anybody. I'm not friends with anybody. I don't affiliate with anybody. This is like way back in the days when I was like a little girl. You know, you go to clubs, you go to parties, but I'm talking about, we talking about 25 years ago that I used to do these things. And I stopped doing these things years ago. So now, now I'm like the type of person who stays in the house. I'm very mellow. I'm more into TV. You catch me on Netflix. You catch me on CNN. You catch me on NSBC. But you will not see me outside. I'm like not an outdoor person. I go to work and I come back home and that's it. So now the enemy comes to me and goes, so I'm explaining to the enemy, I was like, I don't understand, where's all this witchcraft coming from and blase. Then the enemy goes, so you're not going to go to your family for help? Remember, if you ever follow me from before, I told you my family's in witchcraft. I said, why would I do that? I said, these are a bunch of people I don't know. Listen, I met my father when I was an older age. I only met him for like maybe a year before he even passed away. In the midst of that year, I was in seeking. I was very young at that time. I think I was about 18 or 19. In seeking, trying to find out what was going on in my life, where all these curses was coming from, the generational curses and blase. And I tell you, if you go to the wrong person for the wrong information and the wrong advice, you're going to end up in the wrong place. And so I went, like somebody had linked me up with my dad. And I met my dad, and within that year that I met him, he taught me everything about witchcraft, because my father was a voodoo priest. And from a voodoo priest, he converted into a Mason. Okay, so he taught me everything that I needed to know about, all the witchcraft and stuff like that. I knew about it from before, but I was hearing it from mouths and mouths, here and there, from friends and this friend and that friend and my mom's friend, and, because my mom wasn't into it. But my dad, he was 100% into it. So now, the enemy goes, so you're not going to go to your family to tell them what's going on with you so they can help you? I'm like, help me with what? I said, when I had generational curses, I didn't know where the generational curses came from. What I did, I went to church. That's what I did. Years and years ago, I couldn't understand certain things that was going on with me. Years and years ago, I ran to Jesus. That's what I did. And he said, oh, they could help you. You could go back to them and help you. Mind you, the enemy wants me to go back into witchcraft because the enemy needs to control me in order for me to stay with him. Let me say that again. The enemy needs to control me in order to stay with him. He is operating under the Jezebel spirit. Okay? So when God when God put you in certain marriages and you have that counterfeit husband, and God tells you to get up and leave that husband, do not stay with that person. So now the enemy continues to talk. So he goes, so you're not going to go to your family to get the help. And I'm like, go to my family to get help? What type of help? That would be sinning. You understand? Everybody has a choice, okay? Anybody who's in witchcraft, voodooism, obia, whatever you were in, you have the choice of coming out of that and going into Jesus Christ. You do not have to stay in that. And don't let anybody ever believe that is your culture. I've even heard that's your culture. You cannot come out of it. You can come out of it. You can leave it completely and go in a whole different route and give your life to Jesus and leave everything behind. Of course, you're going to have the naysayers. You're going to have people who has a tradition stuck in them. And those people who have the tradition stuck in them, they're going to tell you crazy, you lost your mind, you're hallucinating, you don't know what you're doing, blase, etc., etc., etc. You understand what I'm saying? But always know that you can leave, and you can leave that and go to Jesus Christ. And that's why he always picks that one person out of that bloodline in order to break generational curses. And let me tell you, some of your family's members are not going to appreciate you breaking generational curses. Some of them think that this is the only route for them to go. This is the only way for them to succeed. This is the right way for them to succeed. And there's no other way for them to succeed. Okay? And to sit down and to think about it, if this was the only way for them to succeed, why do they have to steal from the anointed for them to get what they need in life? Which means what you're doing is not so great. If it was so great, you wouldn't have to pick that person out of your family who believes in Jesus Christ and try to put witchcraft on them to pull what's good in order for you to get something that was good. If that was so good, if the witchcraft was so good, am I correct? So the enemy continued to talk. So what the enemy wanted me to do, this is the lesson. What the enemy wanted me to do is reverse and go back into the witchcraft because he cannot control me, because this is how I met him. He was controlling me through the Jezebel spirit. And this is the days where I didn't know any better. We're talking about 20 years ago. 20 years ago. And if you're hanging out with the wrong people and you're hanging out with the wrong crowd, you're going to get the wrong advice. All right? And you're going to get stuck in culture. One thing God showed me is culture and tradition. He can't stand culture and tradition because culture and tradition is what messed up the whole covenant with God. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you have to be aware. And if at this time when everything with what's everything that's going on, the enemy is going to try to pull you. The enemy is going to try to pull you because all of them want you to be on their side. They're the cool ones. They have it going on. They're all that, you know. They have the cool stuff going on with them. You know, their crew is there's no crew with me. I'm a grown up. I don't do stuff like that. You know, it's you who have to know that it is time for you to grow and it's time for you to be mature. That you know that what crew? As a grown up, we don't do crew. You know, we don't do that. As a grown up, you have to know who you are inside. You don't do crew. You don't hang out. You don't have best friend. You don't have this, that, and the third and the fourth. No. As a grown up, you already know who you are. And as a grown up, you know if you can't tolerate one person, what you do, you cut them off. You take them out of your midst. That's what you need to do. You understand? So if you have these things going on with you, you got to take them out. Because it's a challenge right now. That's what God is showing me. Is good versus evil. And I want you to be on my side. So let me pull you over here. Let me do some tricks. You know, let me do some things to you in order for you to give in from taking yourself away from the covenant of God and putting yourself under the kingdom of the devil. So you just have to be careful. That's all I'm saying. Just be careful. You know, with everything that's going on right now. All right. You guys have a great day.